Mike, while I'm hopeful about the November elections, I've tried the best I can to not let any hope creep in when it comes to New York. I love New York City. Everyone knows this. I despise what these communist pieces of trash have done to it. But I'm not. I'm not hopeful. I don't want to get my hopes up, Mike. But man, the polls look pretty good for Lee Zeldin.
Yeah, totally. So I grew up in Syracuse, New York. So I grew up in the middle of the state, New York. The number one radio station in Syracuse, New York, when I was growing up, I'm sure it still is now, is B104, the country station. So New York has always been a red state, just like every other state, ruined by one little blue dot that screws up it for everyone. It was 2018, I think, when New York finally, for the first time in the state House and state Senate, became a blue state, totally all in. But New York still has, again, a lot of country and also this red streak. It wasn't too long ago, Jesse, when Rudy Giuliani was the mayor of New York City, right? He was first elected in 1994. So that wasn't ancient history. George Pataki was the governor when I was growing up, not that too long ago. So there's a little bit of red there. Now, I will allow you, I would suggest, Stephen, Jesse, to get a little bit of hope in New York. But what's so odd is California. So the three worst states with governors when it came to COVID was New York, and Lee Zeldin may take over against Kathy Hochul. Did you see in the debate the other day, they were asked about CDC mandates vaccine for kids, and Kathy Hochul's like, well, I won't mandate that now. And Lee Zeldin looked in the camera and said, parents, I will never mandate a vaccine for your kids, okay? So finally, we're gonna have some accountability in New York, perhaps. Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer was the other horrific governor during COVID, and she is going to lose there against this no-name person, Tudor Dixon, which is fantastic news as well. So those two are gone, the worst COVID governors. But stinking California, where I live now, Gavin Newsom's going to win by 30 points, going away, and it's like no problem. So California is where you should have no hope. New York, Michigan, I'll allow some hope there.
Okay, well, that's a bummer, Mike, because I opened up the show saying, hey, this is going to be the great sorting, the state edition, meaning if your state doesn't go red this November, your state is gone and unsalvageable. You tell me California cannot be salvaged?
Yes. I'm sorry, do you want a,
Mike,
do you want a longer answer?
Pause on this. Why? What happened to California?
Man, that is such an unbelievable question that I don't have a good answer to. Let me say one and I'll come back around to that. I was talking to Eric Erickson, who knows everything about Georgia. Right? And I said, why is the Republican governor going to win there by so much over Stacey Abrams? He said, well, Stacey Abrams is terrible, but the Kemp is the other Republican, right? And he's a business guy. He's all about business. So the social issues, people in Georgia don't care about the social issues, they care about business. I said, well, how about Herschel Walker? Aren't all these abortions going to affect him? He's like, no. In Georgia, we don't care about the social issues because back in the 60s, Atlanta was one of the first cities to desegregate. And they said, we're above this social nonsense. We're going to focus on business. Coca-Cola and all these other companies started moving in. They're all about business. So social issues don't matter. So that's why they're going to go running away. And I almost feel like it's the opposite in California. We don't give a crap about business here. We don't give a crap at all. It's all about the social nonsense. It's all about this social. It's all about being a sanctuary state for illegal immigrants, for abortion, for transgender surgeries. If you live in Texas, you can kidnap someone, literally kidnap someone in Texas, bring them to California, and California law enforcement is not allowed to cooperate with Texas law enforcement about an actual kidnapping if it's for the purpose of getting transgender surgery. The people of California, for whatever social reason, I don't know if it goes back to like still the 60s hippies influence or like we're like a beach vibe, live and let live, whatever. We've still completely lost our minds here, and nothing matters except being nice and doing what's good and happy feeling and whatever social justice cause comes our way. It is a lost cause, Jesse.
Don't miss Jesse Kelly Breaks History, The Forgotten Genocide, the first episode of a new series available now exclusively for First TV supporters. Visit the First TV app or thefirsttv.com to subscribe and start watching today.